So two elements. One that coaches are living through at the moment is the injury side of things. So Lachie Neale's got himself up. Jared Berry said he couldn't. Tom Stewart doesn't get a chance. So you had Stephen May. I feel like this was a story that only got told in the aftermath. Put us inside the 2 weeks when your fullback has a tear in his hamstring.
Yeah, look, so he strained his hamstring in the prelim final. We went off, got scans. He had an 8 centimetre tear in the tendon. The conversation was pretty quick to the medical team, and the high performance manager, Darren Burgess, was around what sort of information are we going to give the player, what sort of protocols are we going to step through. And throughout the whole year, and this is a coach which is really important because trust is probably the biggest thing that you can get. And we had a great success with our medical team and the high performance team of not only getting players up to play, but also getting them to perform. So I had enormous trust in Darren and the medical team. We told Mays he had a slight hamstring strain. These are the protocols you're going to have to step through. He ticked off every single one of them. The last one that we wanted to make sure, and we were really fortunate, we'd played the Western Bulldogs 2 times already that season, and the player that he was playing on, he'd only ever done 68 metres of high speed in both those games. So one of the final check-off points for us was you've got to at least do 100 metres of high speed. These are the depths to build the trust. And he was able to do that easily in the last training session, and my trust was in them, and that was an easy decision to make.
That is an extraordinary call. An 8 centimetre tear in the tendon.
Yeah.
That's just almost automatic out.
Yeah, and because he was such a big man, it was really evident early on he had full strength, so his muscles were working to a high level. And that was the thing that gave Darren and the medical team a lot of confidence to say, let's give this a go. If it fails, we know we gave it a crack.
So in your risk reward, do you have a quiet moment where if this goes in the first 2 minutes of the game, how are you going to live with it? How are you going to deal with it? Do you run the what ifs?
You do. And that's why I spoke about what has happened earlier in the year, about the trust that was built with that team and some of the decisions that were made. And at that time, my biggest thing is to empower my staff, and I was going to live by that decision, and they made a great decision.
Fagan and Neale living that conversation. He's been named, Lachie Neale. I love Josh Dunkley's answer. We asked him, he goes, no, I didn't ever have any doubt about it. He didn't have to wait till today. He reckons he knew. So this is what Chris is having to deal with. The fact that it's Lachie, does that make it a little bit easier for him?
Look, I think it is. The athlete generally knows best as well. And I think Lachie Neale's, a captain. He's a Brownlow medalist. He'll know his body if it's right, and he's going to go out and perform. And you just know what you're going to get out of Lachie Neale. So I think once you step through all those protocols, the decision would be easy.
You've lived the grand final where there was a bye on the way into it because of COVID and over in Perth. If the AFL came to you and asked you, do you think we should do this, or does the wait become interminable? What is your view?
I loved it. I experienced it. I loved it. I loved the build-up. I loved the extra time to plan and get all the awards and everything out of the way through that period. It really determines what happens at the front end. In that year, we went straight into finals. There was no pre-finals bye. We went straight in and we had the bye at the end. I thought it was brilliant. It gave everyone a chance to have the best players available. Like Stephen May would not have played in that grand final, and to get him out there and play, I think was fantastic, and it gives the best chance to build the spectacle that it deserves to be.
So if you were asked, would you say let's do that?
Yeah, absolutely, okay.
I would. Well, we look at this, a new role for you too, Sydney Swans, which has been announced recently, which is exciting. You get up into a really well-run football club. What's the role, and when do you get your feet on the desk? Yeah,
look, Director of Coaching and Performance, and it's really about going in there and working with Dean Cox and the coaching team and building a really high-performing environment with a great strategy. And I'm looking forward to, I've been lucky enough to have 9 years of senior coaching to work with Coxie and help build the Swans back into the team that's contending. And it's exciting to go and live a different culture. I know I'm going to a great footy club that's well run, and they've proven that over a 20-25 year period, and it's exciting to go and learn as well.
You're on record as saying you want to go and coach again. Is there a coaching element in this as well?
Yeah, look, there is. There's some strategy elements and a phase of the game that I'll be looking after. We're still working through what that looks like, but there is some coaching element to it. I'm looking forward to doing that as well, and getting the hands, back on the tools within training and game day. So I'm excited by that, but I'm excited just to go and learn as well and grow with myself.
Awesome.
Have you had a chance to decompress?
I have. I had a great trip to Bali. Got away. It's been 8 weeks. It's amazing how quickly you go from being so full on to then your days are pretty quiet. But I've enjoyed the 8 weeks, and I've got a few months to go yet.
When do you start with the Swans?
In January.
Right.
Awesome.
A
Who's
great
winning
resource for them to
tomorrow?
pick up.
Saturday.
The head says the Cats, but the heart says the Lions. There's something about the Lions when they're challenged, they just keep responding.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, let's play D-Day, shall we, for Aussie Broadband. It's D-Day for everybody, but we've gone to pick one individual.
You're playing D-Day?
Yep, playing D-Day. Who would you like to have for D-Day?
Taking over.
I'm taking Zach Bailey. I think he's probably nearly the most important player for the Lions. Every role that he plays, he gives something different, whether it's forward, whether it's on the wing, and I've loved what he's done in the middle. If he has a big day and impacts the scoreboard, I can see the Lions winning.
Yeah, he stepped up in the absence of Lachie Neale, hasn't he? Gone through that middle and had a real big say in proceedings ever since the moment that Lachie went out. So, no, I think you've done...
It gives a point of difference. Yeah. He's different to all the other midfielders.
Gaz?
Shannon Neale, for me, on the basis that Harris Andrews just could be the most important player out there. And then he's had a couple of goes at him and failed. Well, it's no shame to fail against Harris Andrews, but he has to work out a way if, in fact, that's the matchup. Now, blitz halves might be a chance to go and play on Harris if they think he's that good. I'm a huge fan of this bloke, but his output against Harris in the last two. Harris was best on ground down at GMHBA in round 15. He obliterated him, took 10 marks. And then that qualifying final, I thought Harris was in the best two on the ground as well. He's kicked only just a goal. What's he kicked? 2 goals in 3 games against Brisbane. So he's got to compete. And I guess, I don't know whether Chris will have him play on Harris again, do you
think Blixars might go to him?
Yeah, I think he's played a lot of forward footy in the back 6 games of the year. It's a chance. What's yours, Roldo?
I've gone Josh Dunkley because this is the path to the Norm Smith. He's going to have to play on a combination of Bailey Smith, Max Holmes and Patrick Dangerfield. He might play on all 3 of them at once at various stages. He is just the man to be able to quell whatever is out of control. And I thought the way he depicted, sometimes it's his intuition, sometimes it's the direction that comes. He has an outstanding record against Geelong in what he's able to do offensively. But I just feel like if we know where the danger is and he's able to go to it one by one by one, that is going to carry so much weight if he does it successfully.
Yeah.
I like them all.
Yeah, he's going to danger in the early. He has to.
What a matchup that is.
Yeah.
Eh?
What's it, having the fresh evidence of the qualifying final to the grand final, who does it favour? Chris Scott, that everything worked, or Chris Fagan, I've seen it all now, let's get busy?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question. I think you like to be in Fag's position where you know what got done against you. What did Geelong do that actually beat you? And to get really deep on assessing that, because you got to fair to say the Cats are going to go after exactly the same thing again. And I think Fags would have done a lot of work in the last few weeks. If we get back to this position, what are we going to do a little bit differently?
It's great to see
Awesome,
you,
mate.
Simon.
Good to
Thanks
see
for
you.
being here.
Good luck.
We'll see you next in red and white.
Enjoyed the year. Thank you.